What we're going to do now is introduce the dominant 7 chord. The dominant 7 chord is chord 5-7. So if you look to the top left of your screen, we have original chord 5, which is D, F sharp, A in the key of G major. And this clip to the right, I've got chord 5-7, which has D, F sharp, A with this additional note of C added on top, 5-7. That's the dominant 7 chord. What we're going to do is look through our melody, just try and find a place where there's a C in the melody, and as you can see there is one just here in the 4th beat of the first bar. Up until now, when we have had a C, we've harmonised it with chord 4 because there's a C in chord 4, but what I'm going to suggest now is harmonising that with chord 5-7. So I'm going to take out the notes that we have in the top part underneath the C, and I'm going to move the bass note up to a D and change the chord symbol. So I've now got chord 5, and I'm going to put the 7 there to show that it's chord 5, chord 5-7. Okay, so there we have it. We have a D and we have a C at the top. There's something crucial about the C in this 5-7 chord, or any 7, the 7 in the 5-7 chord, in that the 7th has to fall downwards by step. So we've got the C here in our melody, and it does come downwards by step, so it's okay in this instance to use chord 5-7 because that's the melody is coming downwards from the 7th there. There's another C along here, the 2nd beat of the 2nd bar, where again we might think of perhaps using 5-7, but it's not possible to use 5-7 here because the melody is rising. Actually, that's not strictly speaking true. There is a way in which we can use 5-7, but we'll come to that in a later lesson. So assuming just now that our 7th always falls, we've got the D in the bass, and we've got the 7th of the chord in the melody, and what I'm going to do is just use that top-down method that we have been using up until now to fill in the remaining notes of the chord. And the nice thing about the top-down method is if you're using this, you always end up with all of the notes that you need. We've got the D in the bass, F sharp, A and C, the remaining notes of the chord. So let's have a listen to this. Okay, so that's not too bad, but I'm going to make a little suggestion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 5-7 into first inversion. Okay, so I've got my figure bass ready to go, 6-5. There we have it. So it's first inversion of the dominant 7th chord, and I'm going to take out these notes and do my top-down method again. So I've got my C at the top. The next note down is the A. Now bear in mind there are 4 notes in the dominant 7th chord, and there are 4 notes in our texture. What we're looking to do is get the missing note, and the missing note in the 5-7 chord when we're in first inversion is the root when we're coming down using this method. So that means we've got all 4 notes. The other thing you'll notice is that this is first inversion. The 3rd of the chord, the middle note of the basic triad, is in the bass, and we've avoided doubling that as well. So why have I done that? It's probably thinking it's fine the way it was, but something interesting happens when we have this chord in first inversion. We have the F sharp in the bass now, and the F sharp is the leading note of the key. So there's a strong tendency for that F sharp to want to rise up to this G in the next bar, so it's really wanting to rise. And I've spoken already about the 7th of the chord wanting to fall. So in the soprano part I have the C really wanting to come down to the B. So in the outer parts, the C at the top and the F sharp in the bass, we have this strong tendency of the C to fall and the F sharp to rise. So it's almost like a magnetism within the chord to resolve upwards and downwards at the same time. In addition, the chord, the 5-7 chord in first inversion, is almost more, in a sense, more dissonant. We've got the F sharp in the bass and the C in the soprano part, the top part. So the outer parts, in this case, outline a diminished 5th. So the outer parts are actually dissonant. So there's a strong sense that those parts really want to pull in towards each other. So let's have a listen to it and see and hear rather how it sounds.